Wrestling fans, guys, can we please just get to tomorrow? Can we please just get to SmackDown Live tomorrow? Forget about Monday Night Raw. Forget about everything that Monday Night Raw gives us on a weekly basis. It is absolute garbage. And they've done it again. They absolutely have done it again. It never fails. Some of you might be asking yourself or asking me, why, Webby? Why are you saying that about this week? They announced a huge pay-per-view in which it's going to be all women for the first time ever this coming October. And they had a massive main event to determine who's going to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. So some of you might be asking me, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that this show is just awful, garbage, horrible? Once again, why are you just waiting for SmackDown? Why are you just praising SmackDown? Look, WWE did it again. They start this show with the pay-per-view, the women's pay-per-view, and announcing it where they're praising the women's division, which I don't have a problem with any of this. And everything that's going to be on the card. NXT Women's Championship, SmackDown and Raw Women's Championship. Over 50 women going to be on this show, including legends. We all knew that was going to happen. WWE's not going to have an all-women's pay-per-view without having a bunch of legends on the card. It's just not going to happen. So for the wrestling fans that did not want that, let's be honest here. We knew that they were going to stack the show with some legends to help sell the card. As they already announced it, Trish Stratus and Lita. So I'm sure they will add Michelle McCool and Jacqueline, Alundra Blaze, and others. Whatever the case, Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon comes out there and they're praising all this stuff. And they're praising the entire roster tonight about all the hard work that they do all the time to perform for us wrestling fans, right? So they start to show off hot for that crowd. Even though most of us knew that that was the announcement they were going to make, they did start to show off hot for the crowd. And then, slowly but surely, it went to death. The show died. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're a Roman Reigns fan, Bobby Lashley fan, Seth Rollins fan, just like me. The show died after that. Now, I know that the women's pay-per-view, whether you're a fan of it or not, it does get people excited. Okay? First time ever. WWE, book it correctly and it'll be a success. If you don't book it correctly, it will be a bomb. Do a good job with it. Okay? But why do you have to treat this show, as far as the rest of it, like epic garbage? I mean, garbage. Seriously. And we know what's coming. We have to. Bobby Lashley has defeated Roman Reigns So now they're 1-1. 50-50 booking. A triple threat matchup for the Universal Championship. It only makes sense, wrestling fans. WWE, even though we all knew this was coming, you are putting the absolute worst competitors in the main event of SummerSlam. As of right now, it is Reigns and Lesnar 3 in 1 year. In 1 year. This is no Rock versus Austin. This is no Undertaker versus Kane or Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. No rivalry of that nature. No match of that nature. There is no reason why these two guys should have 3 matches in 1 year. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. Roman Reigns has not done anything since the Greatest Royal Rumble to deserve a number 1 contendership match. He has not done one thing. Not one thing has Roman Reigns done. Not one. What? He beat the modern day Phil Raja, Jinder Mahal. So let me get this straight. Beating Jinder Mahal now accounts for getting a Universal Championship matchup. I don't really give beating Bobby Lashley that much credit. What's Bobby Lashley done? Seriously. I mean, guys, think about it. What's Bobby Lashley done? Besides have a rivalry with Sami Zayn. Not much. Not much at all. I mean, it's just 2 guys directionless. They were completely directionless, lost, that no one cared about. Absolutely. And WWE just wants to push to the moon. Absolutely horrible. You know, what would have been nice is to see Seth Rollins in that spot. And maybe see Finn Balor in Seth Rollins' spot with the Intercontinental Championship right now. Even though Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, that whole rivalry has been the best rivalry on WWE television as far as Monday Night Raw is concerned for the past 4-5 weeks. Bar none. Couldn't ask for any better. But you'd rather give us Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley instead, in which everybody's going to absolutely destroy that matchup at the Barclays Center. They're going to brutalize it. There's no doubt in my mind. just like they somewhat did tonight. Her chance of Ambrose at that arena on TV. Yeah, you know, Karen Dunn toned it down a little bit. Why? I'm doing all this ranting and griping, but in reality, Roman Reigns is right. He said one thing tonight in his promo that kind of made sense. We can gripe, moan, groan, complain all we want to. We better just learn to live with it. Now, I'm sorry, Roman Reigns. None of us are going to just lie down and watch you climb yourself to the top with it not working with the fans without us speaking our mind. It's not going to happen that way. Okay? No matter how much the corporate machine is behind your back. All right? And as far as Bobby Lashley is concerned, are you kidding me? 10 years ago, it's more like 11 years ago, because 10 years ago at WrestleMania, he was facing Umaga. 11 years ago at WrestleMania, he was in the Battle of the Billionaires. Okay? Let's get this straight, WWE. And 11 years ago at WrestleMania, he was not in the main event. The two main events of that show was John Cena versus Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship, and The Undertaker versus Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. Those were the two main events, not Donald Trump and Vince McMahon battling over who's going to get their head shaved bald with Bobby Lashley and Umaga with Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest referee. Don't feed me that garbage. It's not going to happen. I'm not buying it. Some other fans might not remember WrestleMania 23, but I do. Whatever. My point about all this ranting is you start the show off hot with the fans excited, and you end it miserably with Roman Reigns on top, which we all knew it was going to happen, but that's beside the point. A miserable ending. But whatever. We're just wrestling fans that come on YouTube, that come on social media and speak our mind and don't know what we're talking about, right? Whatever. What else did we see on this show tonight? Oh yeah, Bayley and Sasha Banks. Do any of us have a reason to care about this rivalry now? Seriously. Do any of us have a reason to care about Bayley and Sasha Banks? Period. I wish. I really wish I could. Seriously. 2 weeks of everything they have done, WWE was successful for 2 weeks. There was 1 week where Sasha and Bayley were throwing each other backstage into lockers, into the table, calling each other names, things of that nature. That was a while back, a couple months ago. And then, of course, when Bayley brutally attacked Sasha Banks once they lost that tag team matchup. Other than that, have they given us any direction to care about this rivalry? If they eventually do have a match at SummerSlam, if that's the direction they're going, have they really given us a reason to care about it? No. As far as this episode of Monday Night Raw, it's almost like the rivalry is done, over with. Comprende, sayonara, capiche. Mickie James versus Natalya. Okay. Whatever. Mickie James victorious. All right. Good to hear. Mickie James doesn't win that often. And it makes it look like that Mickie James and Alexa Bliss continue on rolling and getting the upper hand over, Natalya and all of Ronda Rousey's friends. AOP versus Titus Worldwide. They had a rivalry segment tonight. Big talking segment on Raw tonight. A lot of people, this is one thing I will say, a lot of people, are not happy with AOP rivaling with Titus Worldwide, Titus O'Neil, and Apollo Crews right now. Look, if it gets the start of getting them over, then it's all right. If it gives AOP a good little push, a good little boost, then all right. Tonight, Titus Worldwide, they did get the upper hand. But look, you can't have, who they're in a rivalry with, you can't have AOP pounce on them and damage them the entire rivalry. You can't have that. I know some people would like to see that. You got to have it go back and forth some on the way to their match, which if they continue on this, it would probably be either on the pre-show or they would stick these two tag teams in with the B team and probably the leader of Worlds, and they'll have a huge tag team matchup for the tag team championships. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. This match didn't really go very far before Dolph Ziggler got involved. And then, of course, Seth Rollins came down. And we got the best thing that we like on WWE television as far as Monday Night Raw tonight, which was a tag team matchup. Thank you, Theodore Long. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins taking on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Dolph Ziggler loses. The Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre situation. This is what I'm going to say about it. You know the Shawn Michaels Diesel combo that we saw back in 1993 and 94? That's pretty much what this is. Dolph Ziggler is playing the role of Shawn Michaels right now, and Drew McIntyre is playing the role of Diesel right now. That's all this is. And Drew McIntyre is getting some matches. And we're getting to see how he wrestles now compared to what he did back in 2010. And quite frankly, he is much better than he was back then. And we're seeing him groom and fit into this new role much better. And with Dolph Ziggler losing and Drew McIntyre getting that main event spot last week, I can see the breakup happening sooner rather than later between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. But Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler get an Intercontinental Championship matchup at SummerSlam, which begs the question, will Finn Balor face Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam? I hope he doesn't face Baron Corbin. I hope they don't go down that road again. I don't want to see another rematch. But with Finn Balor being in the work of this match tonight, let's see that continue a little bit. See where that goes. Ember Moon defeated Liv Morgan. Okay, whatever. The B Team. Now you want to talk about illogical booking. WWE, you have some of the most illogical booking I have ever seen. You do. There's no saving you. I'm telling you. At the very end of this matchup, we had Matt Hardy laying down on Bo Dallas. The ref counts 1, 2, right? He counted 2. Kick out. Walks over. Instead of counting again with Matt Hardy still on Bo Dallas, he tries to get the other guys out of the ring, which I get. They're not supposed to be in the ring. But that's beside the point. Count the guy's shoulders down. And then, with the guys still in the ring, once Bray Wyatt hits Matt Hardy, and they get Matt Hardy's shoulders on the mat, then he counts 1, 2, 3. Do you think your fans are dumb? Seriously? Are you kidding me? Illogical booking. The WWE must think that its fans I don't even want to go over this. It's so ridiculous. I don't even have anything else to say about it. And of course, Braun Strowman will face Kevin Owens at SummerSlam again. And this time, The contract will be on the line. They've done this once before, where the contract's been on the line and the person has lost. That was Mr. Kennedy, and he dropped it to Edge, in which Edge cashed in on The Undertaker and became Universal Champion. I don't see that happening. I really don't. The segment, Braun Strowman said he doesn't care who it was who that goes and faces Brock Lesnar. He's got the contract. Kevin Owens says, well, I'm not going to be finished with you yet. I'm taking everything from you. Baron Corbin comes out, brings down Jinder Mahal. The only thing I wanted to do when Jinder was there was say, Shantae, Shantae, Shantae. After that, Braun Strowman beat up Jinder, and Stephanie made the match with Kevin and Braun backstage. Well, I see Braun Strowman winning at SummerSlam, and I also see Braun Strowman still walking out of SummerSlam, the new Universal Champion. There is no way you are not putting that title on him at SummerSlam with how you have set up this main event. WWE. There's no way. Y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. This is what that miserable show was tonight. You had that one spot at the opening of Raw where they got the fans hot with the women's pay-per-view announcement. And after that, boom. I'm getting out of here. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Join me next week. Next week, I will have my 2-year anniversary right here on YouTube. Big, huge podcast right here. I, as of now, will have Andy Cool, Jason Funny, the Bailey Buddies, Andrew on here. Trying to get Clowny on here for it. Working on getting him on here. Working on getting Mom on here. Amongst everybody else that's helped me right here on the channel. They were awesome, amongst others. And until I see you again, this is Webby for SmackDown Live Review tomorrow. And I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.